On April 21st, 2016, when Prince's body was found in the elevator at Paisley Park, the world had simply lost a music legend. But the real shock would come with the secrets discovered after his death. When his heirs discovered the three parallel worlds Prince had left behind, they were astounded. The first was a secret vault room where thousands of unreleased songs were stored. The second was a real estate empire consisting of 16 strategically purchased properties around Minneapolis. The third was a network of secret philanthropy worth millions of dollars that no one knew about. These three secret worlds were the most striking examples of Prince's control obsession and paranoid perfectionism. Each revealed a different personality of his that he never discussed while alive. If this story matters to you, don't forget to subscribe right now so you won't miss the continuing chapters. After Prince's death, a special vault room located at the Paisley Park complex was opened. This room was the secret archive where Prince stored thousands of unreleased songs. The heirs went through a long process to gain access to the vault because Prince was extremely secretive about this matter. When the door was finally opened, the sight that greeted them was breathtaking. In the vault, walls were lined with shelving systems and numerous recording tapes, CDs, and digital archive discs were stored on each shelf. It was clear that Prince had taken special measures to protect his recordings. The most striking detail was that Prince had handwritten notes on many of the recordings. Some recordings had dates while others had personal notes. According to Susan Rogers' estimates, Prince had recorded more than 2,000 songs just during the 5-year period she worked with him. This number reached astronomical proportions when considering how productive Prince was throughout his 40-year career. Music archivists who examined the recordings in the vault confirmed that the amount of material was indeed enough to release one album every year for 100 years. But the real question was, why had Prince hidden so many songs, and how was this secret world connected to his other obsessions? Prince's vault obsession was actually just one face of his need for control. Just as he hid his music, he had also strategically planned his living spaces. When real estate records in Carver County were examined, it was revealed that Prince owned 16 different properties around Minneapolis. The total value of these properties exceeded $32 million, and each was purchased for a different purpose. The largest was, of course, the Paisley Park complex, but the others were also special spaces designed to reflect different aspects of Prince's life philosophy. The purple-painted house reportedly near Lake Riley was one of the first large properties Prince purchased in the 80s. This house was notable not only for its color but also for the special recording studio it reportedly contained inside. It's said that Prince recorded some parts of the Purple Rain album here, and the house's walls were apparently filled with equipment he used during that period. Neighbors reported that Prince would only come to this house at night and play piano for hours. The sound isolation system he installed in the garden was so advanced that no sound could be heard from the street. Among the other properties were a house designed solely for guests to stay, a warehouse used entirely as an instrument storage facility, and even empty lots he bought but never set foot on, saying, "I might use them someday in the future." Prince used different company names to hide his identity when purchasing each property. This also showed his obsession with secrecy, not only in music but also in his personal life. Paisley Park employees reported that Prince sometimes went to these different houses just to be alone. The most interesting detail was that Prince kept special recording equipment in most of these properties. Some of the songs in the vault had been recorded in these different houses. Each house was like a laboratory that fed different dimensions of Prince's creativity. But these properties weren't just related to music. Prince's other secret world was the philanthropic activities he managed from these houses. Prince's third secret world was perhaps the most surprising. When special files at Paisley Park were examined, Prince's massive philanthropic network that he had never told anyone about for years was revealed. Through his foundation called Love for One Another Charities, he had made donations exceeding $1.5 million. But these were only the official records. When anonymous donations were taken into account, the figure was much higher. Prince's understanding of philanthropy was directly connected to his Jehovah's Witness faith. According to his religion's teachings, it was more valuable to do good deeds secretly. That's why he made most of his donations without revealing his identity. His donation to Trayvon Martin's family only came to light thanks to the family's lawyer. The financial support he provided for Eric Garner's family to attend concerts also remained secret for years. His support for the Yes We Code project was the best example of Prince's forward-looking vision. He had donated $50,000 to provide technology education to young people. And thanks to this project, hundreds of young people learned programming. But Prince didn't notify any media outlets when making this donation. Even the source of the donation remained secret to project managers for a while. His donation to the Green for All environmental project showed another face of Prince's social conscience. He had provided financial support for installing solar panels in low-income families' homes in Oakland. Thanks to this project, hundreds of families both saved on their electricity bills and started using environmentally friendly energy. Behind Prince's making this donation was his desire to fight environmental injustice. After the events in Baltimore, the song Baltimore he wrote wasn't just support for protest. Prince also provided significant financial support to schools and community centers in the city. Thanks to these donations, many schools completed their missing resources, and community centers started new programs for young people. Prince's sensitivity on this matter wasn't limited to just his songs. The Paisley Park complex was the central point where Prince's three secret worlds intersected. This complex, measuring 55,000 square feet, wasn't just a recording studio but a physical manifestation of Prince's life philosophy. Different sections of the complex served his different obsessions. While vault rooms stored the music archive, special offices were used to manage real estate investments, and meeting rooms functioned as spaces where philanthropic projects were planned. During the complex's construction, Prince personally controlled every detail. The color of the walls, the acoustics of the rooms, even the height of the bathroom faucets had to pass through his approval. This perfectionism didn't stem from just aesthetic concerns, but from his need for control. Prince wanted to have absolute control in every area where he lived. Complex employees reported that Prince worked alone in different rooms for long hours. During these hours, he would decide which songs to put in the vault, which properties to purchase, and which charity projects to support. These decisions shaped his three secret worlds. Prince's obsessions with vault, property, and philanthropy actually stemmed from the same psychological root: the need for control. The childhood traumas, his father's violence, and the insecurity created by epileptic seizures had made Prince obsessive about having absolute control in every area of his life. The songs in the vault were his way of controlling his creativity. He could release his music when he wanted, how he wanted. The property acquisition obsession stemmed from his need for security. Prince had built a financial security fortress to never again experience the economic difficulties he had faced in the past. Each property was his insurance for the future. At the same time, these properties gave him the opportunity to hide behind different identities. Secret philanthropy met Prince's spiritual needs. After becoming a Jehovah's Witness, he wanted to put his religion's teachings into practice. But even while doing this, he didn't give up control. He controlled which projects to donate to, how much to donate, whom to work with, and even how the donations would be used. These three obsessions were systems that fed different personality layers of Prince. Musician Prince lived in the vault. Businessman Prince moved in properties, and Prince, in spiritual search, found himself in philanthropic projects. But all three were different faces of the same person and were all managed by the same need for control. The vast majority of songs Prince stored in his vault were documents of his different creative periods. The recordings from Susan Rogers' period were evidence of the time when Prince recorded one song per day. Some of these songs were for technical experimentation purposes, while others were emotional releases. Prince used the vault not only as an archive but also as a therapy space. The recordings in the vault were categorized. One section contained completely finished but unreleased albums. These albums contained Prince's musical experiments from different periods. Some were shelved due to commercial concerns, while others were hidden because they were found too personal. Another category contained collaborations made with different artists. Most of these recordings were never completed because Prince tended to abandon projects where he didn't have complete control. These half-finished duets and joint projects found in the vault revealed Prince's difficulties with collaboration. The most mysterious category was what Prince called personal notes. This section didn't contain songs, but conversations Prince had with himself. These recordings were the closest documents of his inner world. Vault researchers noted that listening to these recordings was very valuable for understanding Prince's psychological state. Among the most valuable pieces in the vault were Prince's experiments in different music genres. There were recordings of experiments in jazz, classical music, and even electronic dance music. This diversity showed how wide Prince's musical capacity was, but it also revealed that he was never satisfied with just one style. Prince's property purchasing strategy wasn't random. Each property served a different need in his lifestyle. He had carefully chosen the locations around Minneapolis because he wanted to be close to the city center, but also preferred distant locations to maintain his privacy. This balance reflected the tension between Prince's social life and his need for isolation. Some of the properties were designed entirely for music production. In these houses, he tried to perfect the sound quality of songs in the vault by experimenting with different acoustic features. Each house had a different sound character, and Prince would decide which house to record in based on the song's mood. Other properties served different social functions. The property he used as a guest house was part of Prince's strategy to protect his private life. Instead of hosting important guests at Paisley Park, he would meet them in this special house. This way, he protected the privacy of his main living area. The most interesting property was the empty lots Prince bought for future projects. There were no structures on these lands, but Prince planned to develop special projects here in the coming years. These land investments showed his long-term thinking structure. Prince wasn't just planning for today, but for 10 years ahead. When the cost analysis of the properties was done, it was understood that Prince's real estate investments weren't just for personal needs. These properties were also financial security tools. Prince had created a real estate portfolio to protect himself against fluctuations in the music industry. Prince's philanthropic activities reflected the chronology of his social consciousness development. Early period donations focused more on local community projects. His piano donations to schools in Minneapolis showed his sensitivity about music education. Thanks to these donations, many children had the opportunity to meet music. In the 2000s, Prince's interest in social justice had increased. The donations he made during this period were broader in scope and focused on social problems. His increased sensitivity about educational inequality was particularly notable. The support he provided to schools in low-income areas was the result of this sensitivity. Prince's donations on environmental issues were indicators of his responsibility toward future generations. His support for solar panel projects not only protected the environment but also lightened the economic burden on low-income families. Such projects reflected Prince's holistic thinking structure. His most touching donations were those he made to families who had encountered personal tragedies. His support for the families of Trayvon Martin and Eric Garner showed Prince's empathy capacity. While making these donations, he didn't expect any publicity. He just wanted to do something for families in pain. Prince's understanding of philanthropy wasn't limited to just giving money. He actively participated in projects, followed their development, and provided strategic advice when necessary. This approach showed that he took philanthropy seriously. The inheritance wars that began after Prince's death deeply affected all three of his secret worlds. Since he left no will, the future of the songs in the vault, the properties, and the philanthropic projects fell into uncertainty. According to Minnesota laws, heirs were determined, but this process took a full 6 years. Which criteria would be used for releasing the songs in the vault became a major topic of discussion. The agreement made with Primary Wave Music aimed to maximize the commercial value of the archive, but this approach conflicted with Prince's obsession with secrecy. The release of some songs went against his explicit will. The sale of properties also became a complex process. Paisley Park was converted into a museum, but the future of other properties was uncertain. Some were sold, while others were divided among family members. This process caused the fragmentation of Prince's property acquisition strategy. The continuity of philanthropic projects also created problems. Love 4. 1. Another charities was closed and ongoing projects were transferred to different organizations. This situation caused the disruption of Prince's social legacy plan. The total value of the estate was calculated as $156 million. This figure showed the material value of Prince's three secret worlds, but the emotional and creative value behind the numbers couldn't be calculated. Prince's vault strategy deeply influenced today's musicians. In the streaming age, artists are taking inspiration from Prince's approach on how to protect their works. The vault concept has become a new trend in the music industry. Jay-Z's founding of the Tidal platform is seen as the modern version of Prince's independence philosophy. Taylor Swift's struggle for her master recordings also bears traces of the war Prince fought with Warner Brothers. Chance the Rapper's never making a deal with a major record company is the new generation version of Prince's independence approach. These artists have adapted the artist control philosophy pioneered by Prince to the digital age. Prince's real estate investment strategy has also become popular among musicians. Many artists are turning to real estate investments instead of being satisfied with just their music earnings. This approach creates a safety net against the uncertainties of the music industry. Prince's influence in philanthropy continues. Many artists are adopting the approach of making their donations anonymously. In the social media age, this approach has become even more valuable because it distinguishes authentic goodness from performative goodness. Streaming technology requires us to reevaluate Prince's vault strategy. Today, artists can instantly release their works and interact directly with their fan base. This situation makes some aspects of Prince's control obsession unnecessary, but it also creates new control needs. Artists now have to control their social media presence, streaming data, and digital rights. Prince's physical vault has transformed into digital vaults today. Blockchain technology offers new possibilities for musicians regarding ownership of their works. NFTs and smart contracts make the absolute artist control that Prince dreamed of possible. Artificial intelligence technology is completely changing the vault concept. Prince's unfinished songs in the vault can be completed with AI assistance. This situation blurs the boundaries between creativity and technology. Virtual reality technology also brings a new dimension to Prince's property obsession. Artists can now create creativity spaces in virtual worlds instead of physical spaces. The most important lesson to be drawn from Prince's three secret worlds is understanding the importance of creative control. The vault, property, and philanthropy obsessions actually stemmed from the same basic need: autonomy. Modern artists can achieve this autonomy with digital tools. The second lesson is the necessity of diversification. Prince wasn't just a musician, but also an investor and philanthropist. This multi-dimensional approach increases artists' economic security. The third lesson is the value of privacy. Prince's anonymous philanthropy understanding is even more meaningful in today's social media world. Distinguishing authentic goodness from performative behaviors increases artists' social credibility. The fourth lesson is long-term thinking. Prince's vault strategy and property investment showed that he planned for the future. Modern artists should also plan legacies they can pass on to future generations instead of being satisfied with current successes. Today, fans visiting Paisley Park can still see traces of Prince's 3 secret worlds. During museum tours, entrances to vault rooms are shown, but not entered. Visitors experience the excitement of knowing that Prince's thousands of songs are still stored in these rooms. The studio sections of the complex are preserved as areas where Prince's creative processes are brought to life. Sound technicians report that most of the equipment Prince used is still in working condition. Thanks to this equipment, the sound quality of recordings in the vault can be preserved in perfect condition. In the complex's garden, Prince's favorite purple flowers still bloom every spring. These flowers continue to live as concrete indicators of his love for nature and beauty. With the conclusion of estate lawsuits in 2022, the future of Prince's 3 secret worlds gained clarity. The release program for songs in the vault was systematized. Every year, a certain number of songs are being shared with fans in a way that suits Prince's artistic vision. The agreement made with Primary Wave Music promises to preserve the archive's commercial value while also considering its artistic integrity. Thanks to this approach, Prince's music is being used not only for nostalgia purposes, but also as a source of inspiration for new generation musicians. While some of the properties were sold, the most important ones are being preserved under the Prince Legacy Foundation. This foundation aims to continue Prince's philanthropic vision in the modern period. The value of the estate continues to increase over the years. Prince's music's performance on streaming platforms proves how valuable his vault strategy was. Prince's vault concept has created new standards in the field of music archiving. Conservatories and music schools worldwide are offering vault management courses. In these courses, students learn how to preserve creative works and how to pass them on to future generations. The Smithsonian Institution documented Prince's vault methods as an important part of American cultural history. This documentation work is being used as a reference point in vault material cataloging. The Library of Congress classified some recordings selected from Prince's vault as cultural treasures. This classification guarantees that future generations can access these works. Digital restoration technologies are being used to improve the quality of old recordings in the vault. Artificial intelligence algorithms offer the potential to complete songs Prince left unfinished, but the use of these technologies is being done within the framework of respect for his artistic integrity. Thanks to blockchain technology, the ownership history of every recording in the vault can be tracked transparently. This system prevents pirate use while facilitating legal use. Selected recordings from the vault for virtual reality projects are creating special content for fans who want to experience Prince's creative processes. The Prince Legacy Foundation continues his philanthropic vision in the 21st century. The foundation supports projects in the fields of music education, technology literacy, and environmental justice. The Prince Music School in Minneapolis provides free education to talented children from low-income families. This school is the concrete equivalent of Prince's philosophy that music is everyone's right. The Green for All project continues with its modern version. Now, in addition to solar panels, wind energy and electric vehicle charging stations are also being supported. Every new news about Prince's vault excites the fan community. The hashtag #PrinceVault regularly becomes a trending topic on social media. Among collectors, Prince's vault recordings are seen as the most valuable pieces in music history. Every officially released recording sells for high prices at auctions. Fan clubs create forums trying to guess which songs from the vault are next in line. These guessing games keep the Prince community alive. Prince's vault strategy stands against the music industry's release immediately culture. Artists are now applying the strategy of storing their works in vaults and waiting for the right time. Streaming platforms have started offering private archive facilities to artists. Thanks to this feature, musicians can control which songs they release when. Record labels have started adding clauses to contracts stating that they will also consider artists' vault rights when making agreements. Prince's three secret worlds represent different dimensions of creative control. The vault symbolizes musical control, properties symbolize physical control, and philanthropy symbolizes spiritual control. This triple approach offers a holistic life model for modern artists. How control obsession can feed creativity is the most important lesson learned from Prince's life. The songs in the vault are the creative results of his controlling approach. The role that privacy plays in the creative process is the subject that academics analyzing Prince's legacy focus on. Privacy gave him the opportunity to be original. In 2024, Netflix's Prince documentary project was canceled because estate managers didn't want the project to focus on vault content. This decision shows that Prince's privacy obsession continues even after his death. Tyka Nelson's death started a new era in estate management. The death of Prince's only real sibling brought inheritance issues back to the agenda. The latest recording collection from the vault, The Lost Sessions, received full marks from music critics. This success once again proved the quality of material in the vault. Prince's story shows the balance between control and creativity. Too much control can kill creativity, while too little control can make the creator feel insecure. Prince had established this balance in his own way. Both the creative and destructive aspects of perfectionism are seen in Prince's life. The songs in the vault are the positive results of perfectionism, but social isolation and control obsession are also its negative aspects. That legacy has not only material but also spiritual dimensions is understood from Prince's story. The vault, properties, and philanthropy are parts of his multi-dimensional legacy. 8 years after Prince Rogers Nelson's death, his three secret worlds continue to influence people. The thousands of songs in the vault are treasures of music history waiting to be discovered. His properties around Minneapolis are examples of how an artist can make his living space part of creative control. His secret philanthropic activities are lessons on how authentic goodness can be done. These three worlds were actually parts of one whole. Prince's creative world wasn't limited to just music. He had designed his life like a work of art. Every decision, every investment, every donation was part of the big picture. Fans visiting Paisley Park see not just a museum, but the physical manifestation of a life philosophy. Even though the doors of vault rooms are closed, the creative energy inside is still felt in every corner of the complex. Prince's controlling approach may not have been understood in his time. But today, in a world where artists are struggling to protect their rights, his pioneering vision is seen more clearly. He had shown how to protect not only music, but creativity itself. The songs in the vault may one day run out, properties may be sold, philanthropic projects may change, but Prince's real legacy is hidden in this story that tells the importance of creative control. Every artist can find their own vault, their own living space, and their own way of doing good. Since that April 21st night when Minneapolis was illuminated with purple lights, Prince's three secret worlds have slowly been revealed. But perhaps the biggest mystery is how these three worlds united in one person's mind. Because Prince Rogers Nelson wasn't just a musician, but also a visionary, strategist, and philanthropic human being. His real legacy isn't in the songs in the vault, the value of properties, or the amount of donations. The real legacy lies in showing how a creator can build his own world. Prince had proven that every artist could establish their own principality.